I try to go off the invitations, but y'all don't follow directions, so I don't be knowing who gonna pop up. But we'll regulate this thing.
Well, the warehouse. We don't.
I don't get. Yeah. We've already established the fact that
the warehouse.
I was about to say we've already established the fact that it's hit or miss. But you will be proud of Lanice this week.
What up? Dollar Rev, the warehouse.
Yo.
Yeah, everybody get up in here, but we will appreciate last week that Lanice who was that you oh, it was Sean Payton. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see, watch or listen to it.
I saw it.
I didn't see it.
Well, she brought back the old school, accountability, responsibility, and truth with Sean Payton.
It needed to be said too.
It needed to be said, Prev. When she said it, me and Jason didn't have anything. It was just like that was right on time. But
the only thing that it went wrong with that was that she said it right before they played the Bears. So there's your truth and accountability all right there.
Right. It was passed like a baton, right?
Handed it off. My bad, Fred. My bad.
I was just what I predicted. I was actually disappointed that it wound up being kind of like a faux thriller because there's nowhere in the world that game was supposed to be good.
Right.
It wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be the calamity of errors. It was supposed to be 44 proverbial monkeys pumping the proverbial football. It was supposed to be the worst football game in the history of football, and it wound up being everything but.
Right.
It was the movable object meets the resistible force. It was everything that's wrong with the sport put on one field.
And they actually had a slightly entertaining product to a point. Slightly. I mean, and especially with them scoring touchdowns and then the comeback, right? If you watching Red Zone, it's like they popping up, and I'm like, I was not expecting the Bears and the Broncos to pop up on Red Zone this much this weekend.
I mean, it was like two entirely inept offenses versus two defenses that can't stop water from running uphill. I mean, one defense dug down deep and proved that, yes, it doesn't matter what you throw out there at us, we will not stop it.
You will not. Like I always say, you can't in basketball, you can't guard a chair, or in football, you can't tackle a chair. It's right there.
I gotta be honest.
Man, they can't tackle the ground.
Looking at the score, because it was on the same time as the Eagles were playing, so we could just see score updates, tickers. And at first, I was like, that defensive coordinator really gonna get fired in Denver because the Bears are like scoring points on them. I was like, this is terrible. What is happening?
I said last week, I was like, he gonna be gone.
Yeah,
not bad.
Still could be gone.
I was looking at the score and I said, well, but as the old folks would say, well, I'll be John Brown. I was like, the Bears.
It was the perfect storm of ineptitude or lack of. As the two systems collided.
It was a mess. And then when it was all over, and I'm looking at my phone checking scores to see how my fantasy is going and whatnot, and I looked and was like, wait, Denver won that game? Like it was.
I will admit I didn't even pay attention to who won it. I didn't care. Like I was just, I mean, sometimes you watching it to actually wait for an outcome. You watch Red Zone or you watching the game, you wait for an outcome. But that's probably because I had left to go to the store after the first half of the Dolphins game when I realized the Dolphins weren't going to show up. So I actually went grocery shopping during the game.
Grocery shopping?
I left. I was like, I saw what was happening. I was like, I see what's about to happen. I'm gonna go get something productive done today.
Well, but the thing is, because why is it that the culture is always the head coach has to fall on the sword? Man, put the mic in some of these offensive and defensive coordinators' faces and ask them the tough questions. What happened? Shouldn't be that tough. Like, why didn't you call a good game? They don't have, you never hear them take responsibility.
The football actually knows one play, and I think the play that made me get up and leave. I think the Dolphins, they went for it on, I think it was 4th down, or maybe it was 4th and 1. And instead of just running the ball, it was 4th and 1, like a half a yard, and they did a pitch play and lost 4 yards. And I literally cut the TV off and walked out and got in my car and went to the grocery store. I literally did that. I was like, why are we getting cute against this team?
Exactly.
I know the Bills got a good defense. I know they can do certain things with their defense, but don't help them. Whatever we were thinking about a defense from a Dolphins standpoint, I don't know what. It's kind of like when Aaron Rodgers leaving the Jets. I don't know if it's the same. It's not the same magnitude by any means, but it is for the Dolphins. We need Jalen Ramsey, man. We need that dude. Because a lot of stuff that they were planning to do with that defense goes around, having that man-to-man coverage on both, for both corners. And we can't tackle worth a damn, so we definitely got to get to the quarterback.
Is he done for the season?
No, he's supposed to be able to come back, but I mean,
I thought he was.
What shape he's gonna be in when he gets back. I think like week 8 or 9 or something like that. But who knows?
I'm sorry, we're not good enough to have just 3 hands in the dirt. You need 4 down linemen. Just go to a 4-3. Stop being cute, man. Just. I mean, really, 3-4 and just have the backers in the gaps or something like that. But with 2 people's hand in the dirt, that's just not gonna get it, man. Like, I'm watching it. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of people wasn't not paying attention because everybody for some reason tried to write the Bills off because they lost an emotional game to the Jets. Like they're the second highest scoring. Well, now the number 1 scoring. I think even with the 70 we put up, they're still the Bills are the number 1 scoring team now in the league.
Possibly. Yeah.
It's still the Bills. Still the Bills. They're still good. They're still good.
Since you don't have a team right now.
Oh, yeah.
At this particular time, how are you enjoying football season with no stress levels of having to worry about what your team is doing?
Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is the best football season of the year.
I mean, as an NFL orphan, you haven't like leaned on a player, like you like nothing, or you just kind of just.
Oh man, I mean, when you are free of fandom, you could just ride any wave. So I'm definitely following a lot of narratives and storylines. So I was rocking with the Eagles, staying undefeated. Being
that's the way to go, man.
And
just bounce.
When they thing.
Just
see the Chiefs doing their thing despite a tough game, yesterday. Yeah. When the Falcons was winning, I could ride with them, and now that Ritter's losing, I could just
jump.
So great being in this space. It is so free. It's so free.
I mean, technically, Prev, you're kind of an NFL orphan right now too, aren't you? I mean, you don't. I mean.
Oh yeah, I'm a
did you jump out? Yeah.
I have not put my allegiance on any team yet. So we'll see. Now we'll see how the season progresses. Yes, but I'm telling you that whole Jets cleansing after that first game of first 4 plays, and I felt nothing. It's like, man, this is where to be. This is definitely where to be.
You felt nothing?
Felt nothing. I didn't even watch the game until the 3rd quarter, and I turned it on. And I was like, why is A-Rod not in the game? I'm getting all these texts on my phone, and they just sending me emojis, and I'm like, all right, let me what's going on. And then when I saw all the pop and circumstance, or I hope I'm saying that right, but when I saw
pop and circumstances, what that ankle did.
When I saw Aaron Rodgers come out with a flag, and all the spotlight was on him coming from the locker room, I was like, man, hey, that karma can get you sometimes. That's for sure.
Hey, you heard this cat trying to say you're gonna try to come back this season.
Good luck to the brother. Good luck.
And to quote Ryan Clark, this is why you don't go on television high. That man was fresh off of surgery and on all the good medication on the Pat McAfee show when he was like,
I'm sure he
I'm going to be back before
Doubt
the end of the season.
Doubt him, Lanice. Doubt him. Doubt me. Keep receipts.
Like if he doesn't make it, anybody's gonna really care.
What, Aaron? No.
Yeah, if he doesn't make it, is anybody gonna be like, "See, I told you he wouldn't make it"?
Nah, I mean, for him to say it, he could just say it. I mean, people say anything.
He just say it,
and know it ain't gonna be held accountable. I mean,
yeah, all like it's okay, sir. But I will say, based off of the Jets play, they need to fly Aaron Rodgers out every week. Because evidently him just being in the stadium and going to the hotel to talk to the children, because they're all way younger than him, so they children, it made them play better.
No, it made them play.
They didn't win.
They calling good plays for that kid to throw the ball.
But they did all the things. The coaches coached better. The players played better. Defense all of a sudden was like, oh, wait, we're going to tackle and try to stop somebody. It was a whole new squad on the field. I'm like, all because A-Rod done full cross country.
I'm calling
I agree with Fred.
I'm calling it 20. Hold on.
They were doing their job. Yeah.
I'm calling it 20.
Jets going jet.
Dolly, you killing me right now.
Dollar's stupid.
See, this is what happens when you put your heart into stuff right here. Right?
What are you talking about? You and Lanice had our heart in him first.
Right. We know this pain.
We understand that pain.
We know this pain.
Appreciate that.
Good Lord. But yeah, man, them Jets, man. I'm telling you, man. I told you, stick with this kid and keep trying. And look, they still lost.
Wilson played a hell of a game, though. Wilson played a hell of a game.
But it's funny that we, and like I said last week, I was pushing. I was like, don't throw this kid. Y'all throwing this kid under the bus. All of a sudden, yeah, he deserves some of it, blah, blah, blah. But damn, you got him. Use him. Figure it out. Coach, earn your money. Tackle better. Catch the damn ball. I mean, like, damn, like, what are we doing here?
Right, yeah. I mean,
professional athletes.
Play football? Was that what you wanted them to do, Pete? Just play football?
No, just play.
I said, shut up and coach.
Yeah, that's like you said. Yeah, just shut up and coach. Shut up and play. Like, damn.
But evidently the coach couldn't say that because that's what Aaron Rodgers said to them. And again, fly that dude out every game. Because Aaron Rodgers showed up and when they asked, what did he say to the team? He was like, I told them to stop listening to the people outside of this room and to stop pointing fingers at each other and do their job.
There you go.
Well, listen, sir. No, the head coach couldn't say that because I feel like if listen, sir, or maybe it sounded better coming from Aaron. I don't know, but again, that dude needs to make all trips for the Jets because that's the only hope that they have.
I'm not going as far.
Everybody know that Aaron Rodgers, he run the Jets organization right now. They basically handed the whole entire team over to him. So you get what you get. So they didn't have a backup plan. They didn't have this kid prepared to do what he needed to do. So I feel no sympathy towards them. The third string quarterback is a guy who had 1 touchdown and 13 interceptions in his college career. He's on the team because he's a friend of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers wanted to have somebody in the quarterback room that can get the coffee, get the donuts, tell good jokes, and all of that.
Laugh at his jokes, right? Laugh at his jokes. Yep.
So if that's the type of organization that you have, you get what you get.
Leon, looks like you're going to get your wish here with Mitch Trubisky.
Listen.
You're going to get your wish with Trubisky starting next week.
Put him in, man. I'm telling you, the kid can play.
Brad, look, this man over here who's, played professional football, arena football, highest level of college football, but he started being a homer, Prev, and was asking for Mitch Trubisky to come out there and save the Steelers the last couple of weeks.
Watch what happens.
And then he mentioned you, so go for it.
Watch what happens when he hit the field. He's going to turn it around. I guarantee they'll win 2 or 3 games.
Prev has put the real hand up.
I got to hear from Prev.
Prev's got something to say, Dion.
So, Brother Dyer, it was not your organization that traded $500,000 to move up 1 pick for a guy they could have dropped into the second round and got it. First of all. Second of all, I will say this much. One, he is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing, coming off the bench in a time of dire need to try and infuse this offense that didn't really do much with the starter, so why not? True. I mean, that was the Texans, right? And not the University of Texas, that was the Texans.
Yeah.
Right. Third, I will say this. It took, I would say, a lot of Pepto-Bismol to get over that pick in the years that followed. What I did come to realize was that Mitch Trubisky will not lose football games for your team. Your team will lose, and he won't be the reason why they're losing. But your team won't win, and won't be the reason why they're not winning either. I don't really know exactly what all that means, but my point being is that there's some flat line. It's not a negative. It's not a positive. It's kind of in a purgatory of backup grade quarterback.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So with that being said, let's get it, Mitch.
No. I'm not.
Hey, yo, I just need to know from Prev, are y'all just gonna go ahead and trade Justin Fields to the Falcons so y'all can go ahead and get Caleb Williams?
Can I?
Are y'all gonna give up on that?
I would say this. If you really want to do right by Fields, Justin Fields, you would trade him if you could. They're not in a position where they can command a price for it. So it's kind of like a case where they're going to have to just not pick up his option, and maybe if they can trade him. But otherwise, if you really want to do him right, just cut the one you love free and watch it go to a better place. Actually, though, they don't love him. But the point is that they broke the kid, and maybe somebody else can unbreak him, but there's nobody in that building that could make this right. And I think it's just a shame what they did to him. I've seen worse, but this was still pretty egregious. If he wants to go to the Falcons as a free agent, say I guess it's home. If that's what does it for him. I would just at this point root that he winds up in a better place.
That's a really that's really
big buzz down here.
Drake, who's this entire quarterback class? Unless you get some sort of written insurance signed in blood that the coaching staff is going to be fired, stay in college.
Yeah, no doubt.
Caleb Williams?
All of them.
All of them. He said all of them.
Anybody who has a chance to not be the first pick,
right, to be available to be picked.
Unless you like I said, you have some sort of Ryan Poles blood DNA signature, issued sometime this week that this coaching staff will not be there. That is like your. Otherwise, just stay in college.
Yeah, there's a
get an education.
Let me ask the former pro and college player at the warehouse, man. How can you even determine? Because I don't understand when I look at NFL coaches, how do you even determine who's a good coach and who's a bad coach? You have your record usually is reflective of the players that you have. Andy Reid is great, but he got Patrick Mahomes. Sean Payton supposed to be great, and he getting 70 points put on him.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be great. Tom Brady leave. He can't do nothing. He hiring defensive coordinators as offensive coordinators. I don't get it. I can't understand what's a good coach in the NFL and what's not.
Well, the Belichick thing, I don't understand that, because he's the amount of football that he has in him just alone. I don't understand that. But I think basically in order to be a good head coach, you have to have a great staff, like a good enough staff that everybody's on the same. Everyone's comfortable. Everyone's not afraid to introduce different stuff or different plays, because a lot of times coordinators might want to introduce something, go a different route, and the head coach will shut it down. So then they're afraid to even bring up new stuff or bring up something that might help the team. And so I think if everybody's on the same page, you can have a good look at Pete Carroll. I love the way he runs his squad. I mean, man, it looks fun. Even whether they win or lose, it just looks fun. So, and with Reed, like you mentioned, he has some really good coaches around him. Eric Bieniemy. I mean, some of his other
they're good until they go someplace else.
Yeah. He's and Reed is always. I think the X factor, though, really, Dollar, to that question is, if I'm the head coach, I want to get into the GM's freaking pocket. I want to get into his office, because if I show you who I need or what I need you to go get it. I think that's an X factor that people don't think about, because Andy Reid, man, he's always had a squad, whether he picked it up or inherited or got into there and then, drafted and did. I think that's the X factor, man, honestly.
Well, Belichick got that same kind of power.
Well, see, that's the thing I was about to say. Belichick, it just seems like, some of the decisions. But you know what the thing about that $2 is with Belichick? I mean, and this has just always been the philosophy of what we've he don't like to pay players. Like, they have had opportunities to keep certain guys for long period of times, right? And they get to that first contract. If he sees a person that has similar talent or can be like them hybrid players that he likes to have on defense, he lets them guys go.
They're gone.
That was good when you had Tom Brady as your insurance policy.
Exactly. Exactly. And we talked about that last week about, like certain quarterbacks having cachet where you ain't even calling a real game plan. You're just literally going into the office and saying, you watch film? Okay, tell me what you want to do. Like a Tom Brady, like Aaron Rodgers. Right. But from a defensive standpoint, which is what Belichick is supposedly have held his hat on for whatever years, has gotten into Super Bowls and as a Super Bowl, as a coordinator. The point is, he's had players and he's just been like, okay, you want what? Now you go, I'll just draft another guy that looks like you and see what can happen. Tom Brady's not there. You start doing now the whole coordinator thing last year. I don't know what the hell that was about. Maybe that was just he owed them a favor as his boys or something. That was really stupid.
Right.
Ran the ball.
Deion making a lot of sense to me. I think I learned something from Deion today, because going back to the Pete Carroll and the whole fun thing, it seemed like the coaches that can adapt what they do to the players they have, instead of trying to fit players into a system they want to run, have much more success. You see Andy Reid is creative. The coach down in Miami is creative with the weapons that he got. He gives credit to the players and what they do. That seems to be what works.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Pete Carroll, 72?
Right. Yeah. Right.
Right. How long has he been coaching, Fred? How long has he been coaching? He's been there he's been coaching for a long time.
Yeah.
It has been successful at every level.
I think last night they said it was like 30 or either 32 years of NFL experience, counting when they counted, the years the time he was in Cleveland.
Well, I love him.
I love him when he played. Yeah,
I do remember he should never have been fired from the Jets.
Right. That's true.
No, he should not have.
That's true.
He should have never been fired.
That's true. Pete Carroll, man. I mean, he's doing it, man. I mean, because I can't. Him and Andy Reid, probably the longest tenure coaches right now.
Mike Tomlin in there too.
Tomlin is getting up there, but I mean, these guys started way before Tomlin, so it's kind of like.
I think in terms of consecutive years, Tomlin is number 2.
Okay, that's true.
Well, Belichick too. Belichick's been in 2.
Yeah.
They showed the whole picture of them and all of those. Him, who else? All of those guys were on Green Bay at this point. With
Holmgren.
Yeah.
Because
Reid was under
Holmgren. John Gruden was there under
Gruden
Holmgren.
was there. Yep.
Belichick, and there was
Belichick I don't think Belichick was in Green Bay.
No, he wasn't in Green Bay. He wasn't.
Okay. There's somebody else that was in Green Bay though, with Andy Reid and Gruden when they were
It was
Like
a
when they
lot. It
showed
was a
the-
lot of them. Yeah,
showed
that
the
picture.
There was several
But
of them that
be
kind of
careful with that.
Mike Hogan tree.
I don't know if you really count Gruden, but if you really stack it up outside of Reed, the rest of the Holcomb tree looks a lot like the Belichick tree.
Mm.
And I don't mean that in a good way.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
When
like
they leave the
but
nest.
I will say, shout out to Andy Reid. His coaching tree looks good.
Who's under him? So you got Bien.
Wait a minute. As a Bears fan, Matt.
Okay, so you got that one off. But coming from under Andy Reid, you got Harbaugh. He's got him a Super Bowl ring. Dougie P got him a Super Bowl ring.
Okay.
So like his coaches leave and come from under him, and they have success other places where they go. So
right.
That's what you're saying with that. I mean, it's left to be seen what Eric Bieniemy will do, because I feel like at some point they're gonna have to fire Ron Rivera and just give him
offense look good.
Yep. I think that's why.
But their offense, I mean, listen.
I don't. You're right, Fred. I heard you.
Eric Bieniemy had their offense ready, so I can't hate him for that. Everybody's like, I can't believe you struggled against Commanders. I was like, one, it's a division game, so your division rivals are always gonna get up and play you. But I was like, two, Eric Bieniemy actually did his homework and did the coaching job he was supposed to. We got 6 starters out in our secondary. Yeah, we're gonna pass on you all day.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and his first 6 plays were passes.
He's not a bad thrower of the ball. I mean, he's decent. He's not,
Yeah, and which their defense has been good for like the past 4 seasons. I've been saying, I'm like, they get
that selective good.
Yeah,
the Commanders got that selective good. Like we feel like being good. This week.
This week. Let's be. Yeah.
This quarter, not this week. This quarter.
Yeah, like I'm saying, they get up for the division rival, and I don't know, because I honestly, thank you, Ron Rivera, for not going for the 2-point conversion.
Because
I really thought he was going to go for this.
Was tired. Because he said his offense was tired.
He said his offense was tired. Is that what he said?
Yes, they asked him why he
was tired.
He said they were. He's like, offense was gas.
You gonna sit him out on the field for another quarter
He
because
was doing real good with the cussing, but y'all almost made me cuss with that. He said the offense was tired.
To quote him,
I've ever heard that.
Pete, to quote him, he said the offense was gas because they had just come all the way down the field for the score.
Dion, have you ever?
You don't say that.
Like the Eagles weren't gassed.
You don't say that.
Like,
even if it's true.
Coach, go ahead and kick that shit, but we tired.
No.
Here's what I know. I got a little bit more in me to see if we can get out of this without having to play extra time. Okay.
But Lenise, I just knew they were gonna go for 2. Like, you just do that. Like, you're the up and coming team.
We can't go back out there. We might score again.
Yeah, he was like, I felt good about it. I really thought we had a chance to win. You did if you had gone for the 2-point conversion, because right before that, I was like, defense, because Hassan Reddick had been held all day long, and you could tell he was getting pissed off. I was like, they're not gonna get that same energy in overtime. Defense is about to eat them up, and Hassan Reddick went wild in the backfield after that. I was like, I don't understand, but we were all, because look, we were all sitting there in the sports bar looking, and we were like, oh my God, we're gonna lose this game on this 2-point conversion. I was like, nah, defense got this. And then they were like, they're sending in the kicking unit. We were all like, wait, what? And then we started cheering because we was like, yeah, we're going overtime.
That's crazy.
We had no idea what he was thinking, but shout out to Ron Rivera. Good looking, sir. Good looking.
You said Brad, he'd be gone. He pushing himself out the door. Like, he literally is not letting people push him out the door doing that.
I think he was too tired to coach another set of downs or something.
There you go.
And remember, he is recovering from cancer. So
yeah, that's true.
That was 2 years
What's
ago.
up with the Steelers though, man? Like, what do they need to do? Run game, get some linemen.
Mr. Trubisky.
Yeah.
I was trying to set it up, but you just
right there.
That's what you want to say. freaking
they need to fire their offensive coordinator. When I listen,
everybody, that's not even sensationalism. Like everybody, from every level,
I tell you,
all the way down to us.
They lamb-basted the Steelers yesterday morning.
Would Tomlin actually do? Like, would they actually do that? Like, they're so loyal or got this whole loyalty thing with
Ryan Clark
they
tried
just
to
ride
explain
down with
that,
everybody.
Ryan Clark was explaining how it's such a family feeling in the Steelers organization that they don't like to, they try to give people a chance and understanding and all the things. They don't like to fire. But when I tell you Ryan Clark was sick and tired of being sick and tired yesterday, he was like, Coach Mike T, stop beating your head against the brick wall that is Matt Canada.
I got a lot of family I don't talk to.
Right, like he was like, sometimes your family is nice, but they just can't.
I even got family that sometimes disappears on me at times, and I can't find them.
I was like, listen,
I got a lot of family I purposely don't talk to, and I would fire them today. Today.
Oh
today?
God.
Yes, today.
Today.
Yeah. If my ass is on the line, yeah, you gotta go. You
ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
If you about to cost me my livelihood, you's got to go.
Like I said, it wasn't the University of Texas that they were playing. That was the Texans.
I was about to say that, Prev. I got to give Deion some credit now because we tried to push him out when he was talking about the Texans a little bit a couple of shows ago. I didn't think CJ Stroud was going to look bad, but I didn't know they was going to look that damn good on offense right now. I know they, pump your brakes a little bit, but I'm just saying they are. Look, you don't want to go in there. There's the Texans sleeping. You will get beat.
Yeah.
They look good, but also again, like that was something else they were talking about because with the Steelers, they were like, if you're a defense like the Steelers, you got TJ Watt on your squad, and you playing a rookie QB, you circle that on your calendar. There was no way. And they were just like, it was clear that the Texans offense was not afraid of the Steelers based off, I guess they were talking about the
Texans
drive
were the ones that circled the calendar.
That's what I was thinking, Brad.
What?
That's what I was thinking. It was like,
Yeah.
Like
Nico Collins is a lot better than what I thought he was, because if I'd have known that, I would have picked him up in fantasy. That dude was a beast. I'm like, he catch everything.
I think all of us.
And they finally got the running back going and the tight end. Because I've got Schultz on my fantasy squad in two leagues, and he hadn't done anything until this past week.
Hey, Prev, I want to get your take on this because I never did talk to you about this. What was your actual feeling about CJ Stroud coming into the league? Like, because I thought he was going to be fine, but I wanted to get your take on it.
I thought he was going to be all right.
Okay, because Bryce Young or whatever, I was like, I could really see CJ Stroud.
I would have probably taken Stroud over Young.
Me too. That's what I was.
Because you're looking at, like who could take the beating longer and maybe come at it on the other side. Obviously, Bryce Young was a great college quarterback. He has from here to here, all the things you need. The problem is he's the size of a GoPro.
I was going to ask how tall is he. I was going to ask his height. Don't know his height.
5'10", 5'10".
The size of his phone.
What, for Young?
I went to
Bryce Young.
I went to a bad high school football game last year, and it was bad because obviously it's like one team was like,
I remember this.
So you got y'all all seen by now the whole Bishop Sycamore documentary and everything like that. And the thing is, I just want to say, it's like when that game was advertised, that the scandal and the beating that they lost to IMG, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, that's nothing special. IMG does that to a lot of people. But then the story came out that it was a fake high school, and just kind of got over it and all that stuff, and the fact that they were not especially talented. And I'm like, because that's weird, because I've seen games like that in person locally, and so like last year I went to Warwick versus Denby, and the score was like legit, like 65-0 at half. And, Denby had like probably 17, 18 kids on the roster, and all of them were smaller than my daughter, the shorter one. Like some of them dudes, it looked like a helmet with a set of legs running around out there.
Right.
And
Right.
sometimes I see Bryce Young and I'm like, that's what it looks like. It's a helmet with a set of legs, and then touchdown. I mean, what you gonna do? We can score.
That old Nintendo game, RBI, where they did
with the big heads and the little bodies.
Yeah.
I can't.
And the hat like this big, the head was this big, the little body, and the arms be running like this. Yeah, I remember that.
I do have a question for you, Deanna, from a football guy perspective. The play, the brotherly shove. How do you feel about that play? And because the haters are now back out saying it should be banned from the NFL. And and I'm like, y'all are mad because we can do it better than anybody else. It's the quarterback sneak. They've dubbed it. They've now nicknamed it the brotherly.
Is that what it's called now?
Yeah, it's now named the brotherly shove.
I'm so get off my lawn. I'm so late.
Didn't work for Mac Jones. Yeah.
It did not.
It didn't work for Justin Herbert either.
It didn't work for Justin Herbert either. Yeah. Listen, you can't be mad at us though because other teams can't execute it as well as we can. Why are you mad at me? Because they can't. Our
quarterback ain't big enough, Deion, to do it. They ain't putting two in that situation. So.
Plus, he going head first too. Yeah. We don't need that. No, I'm listen. I had to remove myself and just think if I'm on that team and we're good at it. Damn, do I want them to not to stop it?
I would love to have a Deion Dyer at 5'11", 240 to push me. Push me in the back.
Yeah, I want to get this
in the back.
Down. Yeah, so
in the back.
First down.
And sometimes
you're clear on that. In the back.
I think what we have to look at though, is that if the player's momentum has stopped, typically isn't it the rule that they blow the play dead?
Right.
So you know what I mean. So then you have to. I guarantee it. The coach is someone's gonna bring this up. Like if that quarterback's momentum has stopped, but yet now he's getting pushed from behind, the play should be dead. If there's no momentum.
But that's the thing. His momentum doesn't stop. Like,
what's the definition of that? It's a subjective aspect to it, right? Because it's like Mississippi to Mississippi. Like, what do you really? To your point, right? Because who can tell if a person is stopped or they're still fighting, right? So
it's entirely subjective.
But it's like all one fluid motion,
right? And
some people argue because they're like it's a rugby play because apparently if you've watched rugby, it's something that they do in rugby.
Are you talking about that crazy sport that's like the origins of American football as we know it?
Yeah, that sport, Prev. Yeah.
Right. And the reason I bring it up is because most recently last season Peter King was dying on that hill that it should be banned from the NFL, and so he's back again.
It works, and then nobody else can do it, and then you want to ban it. Give me
right, and I'm like, well, the thing is it starts with winning in the trenches. So when the Giants lined up for it, I was like, they're not gonna win this because they don't have no big uglies up front. It starts there.
No, Lenise, I'll go more further. It starts with your quarterback being able to bench 500 freaking pounds. I mean, 500 pounds. 600 pounds.
625.
Yeah.
What other quarterback can squat 600 pounds?
Right.
Nobody.
Don't teach him at that 25 pounds, though.
You got to add a couple another plate on it.
Whatever it is, nobody can squat like that, man. Right. That's a problem too. Like, be real about this.
If I can go back to that whole fluid motion and subjectivity, let me ask you this: when have you ever seen a referee blatantly blow the call on a quarterback sneak?
Never.
Never. Yeah.
Never. And I was like, I get it. Teams are frustrated because absolutely when we get on the goal line or it's 4th and 1 and we decide to go for it, everybody in that stadium knows exactly what play we're calling, and they can't stop it.
Since we got Dolla here, and I haven't been on a cast with Dolla in several years, I would just like to ask if we could devote some of this remaining time to his take on Charlo Alvarez.
Yes, Fred. One of the few boxing enthusiasts left in the world today. So I definitely partaked in that, and my expectation was that Canelo was going to dominate that fight like he did, and Charlo, he will go back down to 154, and he'll call out Crawford, who is going to make an even worse example of Spence before the end of the year, since their contract obligates that they have to fight before the end of the year, which isn't enough time.
Why would you even do that to yourself again?
Right. I mean, I saw a meme.
Who's gonna pay for that?
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. And then he'll move up to 154, and he'll take all three of those belts from Charlo. Probably knock him out, to be honest. In my opinion, I think it'll be a stoppage. And because watching Charlo, and I got to be honest, I haven't been as up on Charlo until recently, and then I had an opportunity to take a look at some of his past fights. And despite his record, he's really only recently has started knocking out and stopping guys. But over the majority of his career, he's kind of been a guy who would win on decision. And I just don't think that he has this skill or the power to be able to keep a Terrence Crawford off of him in a fight. So now the Crawford-Canelo, that's a whole different story. And I don't see that happening.
What are you talking about? I
don't see that happening. I think it will happen.
You know how much Canelo probably weighs at this exact moment, 2 or 3 nights
he probably weighs around 190, probably right about now.
I'm betting he might be all the way up to around 200 with a few tacos up in him.
Seriously?
Canelo a big boy, man.
I know he's a big boy, but I'm just saying. I didn't realize that.
But Prev, you know what I really like about what's going on with boxing today and all these fights is that the PBC fighters that all the casuals fall in love with are being exposed. So all of these guys that thought Spence really could beat Crawford, when Spence is the one that was ducking Crawford all these years, getting these belts.
Stop.
He got all the belts. He must be the man. All these people that think Tank Davis the real deal and call him a champion, and he has no belt in his division, but yeah, he's a champion, but won't fight Haney and all these other guys, but making all this money, they all getting exposed.
You feel that strongly about Haney?
I think Haney's a good fighter, and I think he's doing it the right way though. I like the fact that he fought who's the guy out of Ukraine. Lomachenko. I like the fact that he's moving up and he's fighting one of the 100 and 140 pound champions. I like the way that he's going about it. I like the fact that he gave Shakur Stevenson a contract, told him take this 25% and let's get it on. And Shakur Stevenson turned it down. But I like the fact that he threw that out there though. So it's like he's not ducking. He's not as, I don't think that he'll beat a Shakur. But I like the fact that he's doing it the right way.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that he could. Yeah, I didn't really love that matchup. I mean, I respect anybody for trying, but I was just wondering if you really felt that strongly about Haney. I wasn't sure that I did.
No, I don't think that. I think that him versus Teofimo at 140 is going to be a good fight because Teofimo, now he beat Josh Taylor to now get one of those lightweight belts. So I think that'd be a good fight. The fight that I want to pay to see is Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis. That's the exposed fight of the year. Shakur is going to destroy Tank Davis.
You heard it here first.
Well, shoot, since I got Dolla on too, I'm going to jump into a couple of some basketball talk. For first, shout out to the Aces, and I hope. I think if anybody follows the WNBA, kind of thought these two teams were going to wind up in the finals anyway, Aces and the Liberty. I mean, they went into the season as the super teams, even though the Aces lost Candace Parker halfway through the season. But I'm still trying to find that voter that voted Aja Wilson as fourth place.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm still looking for him or her or whoever the hell that is. Like, come on. Yeah. And I honestly think it's a little bit of hate, man, because being in this area where I'm at now, the hate for Don Staley across certain aspects of media coverage, man, I'm telling you. What I'm saying is
awesome.
there's a lot of people that don't like the fact that she's successful. They just don't. And I think at times they take it out on some of these players. And I'm not, I mean, you know me, I'm not one to throw conspiracies out there, but it's like, oh, we can't have South Carolina be the rookie of the year and be the MVP in the same season, because it was no way they weren't going to give Aaliyah Boston the rookie of the year this year. But let's talk about Dame Dolla. I want to get your opinion, Mr. Dolla, on Damian Lillard getting traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, man. I gotta look. We gotta talk about this because
I am.
But you know, sensationalism of they're the best at it. I want to get some any take from you, Dolla. I want to hear what you got to say before I get into it.
We are, as y'all know, we a big basketball family here, and when news of that came out, we already started looking for when they was going to be coming to Atlanta. We found out they're not coming to Atlanta until like February, so we about to take a trip out to Milwaukee. Okay. It's that big a deal. So we're gonna make a trip out there. We're gonna see one of these Milwaukee home games, probably in early October, November kind of deal. But I am, as a Brooklyn fan, I recognize our season's pretty much done, but support the squad. Ben Simmons is gonna come back shooting jumpers, and he gained about 20 pounds of muscle, so we'll see what that does. But outside of that, I'm really excited for Dame and for Giannis, because I think that personality-wise, I think Giannis, he mentioned in one of the interviews that they come from the same cloth. Yeah. And from the outside looking in, I know these guys personally, but just seeing how they navigated their careers, they're very similar. The way that they go about the game, wanting to be competitive and not necessarily wanting to be they're not buddy with a lot of guys in the league, which I appreciate.
I love that.
I like the old school mentality of let's compete against each other, as opposed to let's party with each other every off season. Let's be everybody's best friend before the game. Let's swap jerseys before, after, during the games. So I like that dynamic. The entire time through this whole trade process and Dame announcing that he wanted to be traded and going making that public, I didn't understand the fascination with Miami being the sole team that he would be interested in. So I was hoping that as this progressed, that there would be more teams that would have the opportunity to be able to get him in. And Milwaukee was one of the teams that I was thinking. And Philly was the other team that I thought he'd be perfect on as a replacement for a guy like James Harden.
And I think,
allegedly, though, isn't he the one that put out there that he only wanted to go to Miami?
But and I think, and what I read about that was because just trying to, it was more about the culture. I think that he wanted to be coached by Eric Spoelstra. I think that was kind of like, he was like, if I'm gonna go, I want to be coached in that type of culture. He was thinking, hey, they was one player away, one good guard away from maybe winning the title last year. I mean, what I'm saying? Granted, in my opinion, that team, the way they were playing, you're not beating them in 7 games. But the bottom line is, I think he was looking at it from that perspective. I don't think he even thought about the Milwaukee Bucks to a point until they were willing to let go Jrue Holiday, because that was my fear about him going to Philly. I would love to have Dame there, but I love Maxey. I can't have a backcourt with 2 small guards. It's just not going to work when you playing these teams with these big wings and they start doing the switching and everything. The NBA has the switch league now. So that was my fear, even though we would have got Dame as far as the extraordinary score and the mentality, right, to play with Embiid. But the playoffs, we keep getting exploited at the guard position. So that's what I was getting. Yeah. So he said, hey,
that's a good point.
Let Jrue Holiday go. I was like, well, damn, of course that's a good fix. So you just take Jrue out, plug him in. Yeah, you lose a lot on defense, but you got that dog out there to help Giannis. He ain't got to shoot free throws in the fourth quarter.
Right.
He's not a 3-point shooter. So if you got a guy that needs to take a big shot, you got Dame. I thought as soon as they made the announcement, I was like, oh, damn, that's not a bad choice. You know what I'm saying? And the organization, think about it. not only did they get assets back, they got DeAndre Ayton in the 3-team spot.
You got DeAndre Ayton.
They got assets for Drew Holiday.
They got Malcolm Brogdon. They have some pieces there, and they have somebody else. Oh, and they got Robert Williams III. These are all good young pieces, with the exception of Brogdon, who I also believe that they're going to trade to get additional assets, and they got some draft picks and some swaps in it. So
came out like a fat dog on this. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do, and I think Dame, being the professional he is, okay, he didn't get a chance to go to Miami. You're playing with Giannis. I mean, that's a good secondary, you know what I'm saying,
right.
door for two prize, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing with Giannis.
Right.
You know, I love my Sixers, man, but we just seem to come in the last 3 seasons with just crap going on, man. Just always a bunch of damn drama.
Enjoy it while it lasts, because I have a feeling that Embiid won't be there for long. He's not going to continue to deal with the process not playing out. Can't even get to an Eastern Conference Finals. And I think Maxey is a great player. He's a good player, but he's someone that's dedicated to the game. Obviously, that his game has improved over the last 2-3 years. He gets better every year, so he's going to be an all-star capable player. But I think the rope is run out for some of the players that you have there. And Tobias.
Oh yeah, for sure. I also think that Joel Embiid is probably tired of the drama.
Okay.
Although I will say I would have preferred we had kept anybody.
Oh yeah, him with Philly.
Yeah, we needed to keep him in Philly because the problem is, one of the problems, there's several problems in Philly, but one of the problems is that the Sixers don't have a dog on that team. We don't have a dog on that squad.
James Harden didn't show up, but Embiid didn't show up last year either in that final game.
I didn't say that.
I mean, what I'm saying is
after that game, after the last game, when we got eliminated.
Yeah, what you say?
So you didn't see my post after that last game?
Oh, I can't remember right back. I can't remember what I ate for dinner yesterday. What are you talking about?
I said throw the whole team away. The whole team. And everybody was like, Lenise, but Joel Embiid. The whole team. Yeah. Throw the whole team away.
Dude,
I gotta be honest. In basketball, I'm about to be like Dolla. Like I'm
getting close too.
My fandom is
I'm getting real close. My
fandom is teetering right now with the Sixers. Real close.
Well, I'm about to bandwagon some other team. I'm not bandwagon for the season or Nuggets for the season.
That loss last year, that series loss last year, it almost broke me. It almost broke me. I ain't sure I'm gonna make it to this season. I ain't sure.
No, they supposed to lost the series last year.
It's touch and go. It almost broke me because I'm telling you, that next day, everybody was like, but Lenise, Joel Embiid. I was like, the whole team. Throw the whole team away. And we could have left Doc in Boston. Like, he didn't need to make the trip back to Philly to get fired. We could have left his sorry ass in Boston.
Yeah, I got to roll, family. I'm hungry, and I'm going to have a late night down.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. And
awesome. Always a great time.
God bless. Good night. Pray for Scotty.
Let me know how that frat party turned out, Fred.
I'll let y'all.
In the warehouse.
Good night.
Y'all out, man.
Signing off.